Hello Bitcoin world, it's Brian here, the UK Bitcoin Master, back with another video in my series Bitcoin for Beginners. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Monday the 27th of August 2018, and again it's great to be with you all. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I know I did, and literally excited about another week in Bitcoin. So let's get right into it. Before we do, as always, please like the video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, bash the bell button so you get any notifications when I post any videos up. Links below to everything I'm going to cover today. There is also a link below to my UKBitcoinMaster.com site where you can view every single one of my previous videos. As always, please follow me on Twitter at UKBitcoinMaster. You can also follow me on DLive and Steam it at UKBitcoinMaster. So on with the show. Okay, I've been involved in the crypto space, particularly Bitcoin, for about a year and 3 months now. And when I got involved, I knew absolutely nothing about cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. I'd never even heard the name. When my friend gave me a call, he got me pretty excited about the possibilities, but I also had a spinning head because I didn't know where to start. And he said something to me that I've passed on as many times as I could, and that is, Brian, don't take financial advice from me. Please do your own research. So I got onto YouTube and I started searching for anything to do with Bitcoin. And when I first looked, I was watching all sorts of commentators. And as I got into it, I realized that some of them didn't really fit the philosophy that I was looking for, so I sort of let them go. And here we are 15 months after I first got exposed to Bitcoin. This show, I want to talk to you about the content producers that I follow because I only have an interest in Bitcoin. I'm not interested in any other altcoins, although I do have some crypto dividends when Bitcoin forked in 2017. I've still got them. I don't know how to access them, if I'm honest, so they can just sit where they sit until one day I learn how to access them. So they're just there. But what I do have is my Bitcoin that I've been steadily accumulating since I got involved with it all. But where I am today, I want this video to be dedicated to the people that I follow. Some of them follow me, but I'm pretty new into the space. I would encourage them all to follow me because I think we can all learn. No matter how educated we think we are, we can always learn from someone else. So if you're watching this and you're one of the commentators that I mention, I would encourage you to hit the follow button and follow me on Twitter, follow this YouTube channel, and maybe sort of spread the word about what I do like I spread the word about what you do. Now, here's the thing. When I was doing the research for this video, I literally went through everyone I follow and I was looking for content creators that specifically have a YouTube channel or they have a presence on YouTube where you can follow them and watch videos that they post. And here's the really interesting thing. Out of everyone that I follow that fits my philosophy of buy, hold Bitcoin, which I should have said at the start, strong hand. Have a strong hand. Buy, hold, wait it out, 2020 halving, 2024 halving. Think savings. Bitcoin is the new way of saving for the future. So I needed to look at those people that fitted with my philosophy. And whilst there are tons and tons of people out there on Twitter and YouTube, I've watched some of the things they say and I don't like it. So I've only included people here that I love watching. I always gain something from them. One or two of them don't have their own YouTube channel per se, but they are guests on other people's channels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through them. I'm going to show you a little clip I've taken from each of their videos so you can get an idea of the type of people they are and the sort of content that they talk about. But the really interesting thing was, I could only come up with, I believe, 6. I think I've got 9. There's a couple others that I've listed that don't have their own YouTube channels that are definitely worth following for their philosophy. But in terms of YouTube content creators, I could only come up with 6. So I want to go through these one by one, give you a little bit of what I know about them, and then run a short video for you of them so you can see what they're about. I would then advise you to go to the notes section below, click on the link to their channels and follow them, because you'll hear a lot of them talking about 80%ers, 20%ers. 20%ers are the people that have got a long-term strong hand mentality. The other 80%ers, they're not interested in the fundamentals of Bitcoin, why it was put together for sound money and to change the world. They just want a fast buck in and out. Does that make sense? So these guys always talk about have a strong hand and hold your Bitcoin. It's the safest bet. So I'm going to start with somebody that I've watched every single video he's posted, okay? And he posts one every single day, Monday through Sunday. And interestingly enough, he has since 2009. So there are, I think, well over 1,000 videos out there. But of course, I've only sort of seen the ones that he's posted since I've been involved in this space. And that is Adam Meister. He is the Bitcoin Miester. He's got a website called DisruptMeister.com. His YouTube channel is BitcoinMeister. I don't really know what Adam's background is. Suffice to say, I know he's from Baltimore, but he no longer has a house. He literally travels the world. He loves staying in B&Bs and keeping his overheads down and preaching the Bitcoin word wherever he goes all around the world. Adam, he speaks his mind. Nothing wrong with that. Some views I agree with, some I don't. Hey, it is what it is, but I respect him. He's helped to shape how I perceive Bitcoin, why I've got Bitcoin, what I'm looking to gain from owning Bitcoin. And I literally cannot miss one of his videos. I try wherever I can to get on his show live. But in all fairness, it doesn't always work because of the time difference. So Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, absolutely terrific guy to follow. Can't put him up there at number 1 highly enough. By the way, none of these are in any particular order. It's just the way that I wrote them out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run a short video so you can get a bit of an insight into how Adam operates. So Adam, over to you.
Then I guess that's your personal business. But in the end of the day, you don't own Bitcoin. You're pretending that you own Bitcoin. When you're at that dinner party and you're talking about your CoinShares account or whatever this new thing is, and you're saying how many Bitcoin you own, no, you're just pretending. You don't own any of those Bitcoin. It could get hacked one day. And guess what? So if it does get hacked one day, the lawsuits will be a-flying. You'll be a-suing, won't you? But in the end of the day, personal responsibility is a new counterculture. Why were you relying on a third party in the first place? It's your fault. It's your fault that you were like, well, if I can buy it through my Fidelity account, well, let them control my private key. I'll just brag that at the dinner parties, I own so much Bitcoin. And then you end up suing and you're not going to win a thing. It's only yourself to blame, people. And I'm telling you, take personal responsibility. Yeah, it can be scary putting that Bitcoin on your Trezor. Yes, but get comfortable with it, because you're not going to have to sue anyone in the end of the day, because it's not going to get stolen from you at the end of the day, and you're really going to own it. And you can go to the dinner parties and say, "Hey, look at this Trezor thingamajiggy I got here. I got some Bitcoin on here. People don't be bragging and everything like that. You got to have a low key about it, but at least you will have the self-awareness. You will understand. This is mine. This is real. This is the real thing. You can't beat the real thing, baby. And I've got it. I don't have any GBTC or any of this other nonsense. Okay, enough. So many pretenders out there. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
Okay, so there you have Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister. And seriously, follow him. You know, the information that he gives out on his site that is always original content, you won't go far wrong. The next on the list is Vortex. Now, he's known on Twitter as the One Vortex. A little bit about him. He worked in large corporations before he came across Bitcoin, and now he says he works in Bitcoin. Just some notes here about Vortex. He's the founder of CryptoCast.net, which is basically a Bitcoin community YouTube channel. He's also the co-founder of Bitcoin Podcast, which is a podcast platform on Twitter for professional broadcasters, and he's based out in Las Vegas. Again, he also does videos on the World Crypto Network, or WCN. He's very pro Bitcoin. You know, I'm not sure if he's a Bitcoin maximalist, and however you define the word maximalist. I mean, for me, it's the only coin I want to hold. It's the rock as far as I'm concerned. I don't want any other coins. So if that makes me a maximalist, I'm guessing that Vortex would say the same. But forgive me, don't anybody beat me up in the notes. You know, there is a definition of what a maximalist is, but you can't come any more total belief in Bitcoin than the One Vortex. So again, I'm going to run a short video from Vortex. Again, the notes to his channels that you can link up with him are below in the notes section. So again, do go to those. But for now, let me run Vortex's video.
I'm with Francis here, where it's basically like, look, the trade wars, and Zach too, I think maybe everybody, the trade wars, I don't think are quite enough to drive, the world to Bitcoin. We need something slightly more catastrophic than that. When the first world countries start experiencing hyperinflation, like we see with Venezuela, like we see with Turkey and these types of things, when we start to see that in first world countries, when we start to see panic, really, that's when you should have already bought Bitcoin. You want to buy Bitcoin before these things start happening to your country. And so that's why we try to tell people about this. And, this article basically says, when the trade war is on, then Bitcoin, the bear market is over. If the trade war is off, then the bear market is still in place. And it's like, look, Bitcoin's value is not hedged. It's not predicated on freaking, trade war. It's so much more than that. Now, of course, it is an absolutely fantastic asset to move into, especially in these early days before we really start rolling, to hedge yourself against some of these currencies. But I think it's just, as the panel has said, it's just, we're not quite ready to be the world's digital gold quite yet. But I tell you what, guys, the future is always here. It's just not evenly distributed. And if you guys want to be the future, it would behoove yourself to learn this stuff, because this is like learning HTML in 1995. This is like learning how to program websites in 1996. Like, this is a very, 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 very important thing to learn and understand, because this is where the world is heading. We are heading to digital cash, and it's only a matter of, do we want one that's completely surveilled, or do we want one that's truly free?
Okay, fantastic. Up the Vortex. Love it. Next on the list is an Englishman. His name is Simon Dixon. Simon had a background in investment banking. He's got his own company, banktothefuture.com, without the A, so BNK. Simon is based in the UK, in the Isle of Man. In fact, he spends a lot of his time in Hong Kong. What Simon doesn't know about where Bitcoin came from, his philosophy on where it's going, the way that he, gets his message out there. Simon impresses me no end, and you really won't go far wrong following Simon Dixon. So again, I'll run Simon's short video, and then you guys can decide for yourself. Away you go, Simon.
Most people can't do that. That's why more people are successful as investors than they are as traders. And being a successful investor is a pretty hard one. But in crypto market, it gave just the most easy investment strategy in the world. And the investment strategy is as follows. There's only 21 million Bitcoins. There will never be more. There will never be less. And as long as those Bitcoins become more useful to more people every year, then just don't sell them. And that is the easiest investment strategy that has ever happened. And it's an opportunity that everyone can get involved with right now. But the most important user case is that it gives you the ability to earn your own money, spend your own money, and a monetary policy that is based upon savings rather than debt. And once you understand that, once you understand those three forces and the fact there's only 21 million, you'll soon come to realize that every year Bitcoin will be more useful. Now, it might be less useful to all the speculators this year than it was last year, but that doesn't really matter because the long-term fundamentals is what drive the investment strategy.
Okay, brilliant. So, number 4 on the list, Andy Hoffman. Andy is the founder of CryptoGoldCentral.com. Andy's got a background, he's out in Colorado, he's got a background in precious metals, a big gold holder at the time, I think 15 years in gold bullion, also worked in Wall Street, very high up, so very, very knowledgeable guy. Now, again, I watch a lot of Andy's videos. I love his interviews with the people that we're talking about here. I'll always watch those. But Andy also is very technical, and a lot of what Andy says does go over my head, I will be honest with you, but that doesn't matter. We need all sorts of people in this space to help us believe, that we are in the right place. And when Bitcoin's so volatile, so up then so down, and everyone's panicking, Andy can settle us all down. He talks constantly about the fundamentals of Bitcoin have never been stronger, so have a strong hand. It isn't going anywhere but up as the years roll on. And I do love watching Andy's one-on-ones. Yep, he got rid of all of his gold last year and he's now completely into Bitcoin. Andy also does some podcasts and video, or vlogs I think we're called now, on the World Crypto Network. Sorry, so does Vortex, so does the Bitcoin Miester, Adam Meister. They all do sessions on the World Crypto Network. So the World Crypto Network is one I've thrown in there that you should search out on YouTube and follow as well. But let's have a short video so you can see what Andy's about.
In the Bitcoin community, almost all of the talk is about Bitcoin's technology and how it's going to overtake the fiat currency system. But from my perspective, the main reason I got into cryptocurrency was because of its relationship to gold, that it can do a lot of things that gold can do. And frankly, I think it's can do things a lot better than gold can do. Gold will always be a store of value, but it will never be the future of money like Bitcoin is. So anyway, it's very enlightening that you're around the world showing us all these people from varying worlds, all of whom have use cases of varying degrees.
Okay, so that was Andy Hoffman. Next on the list, number 5. I love this guy. He doesn't know it, but I just love his mannerisms, the way he presents himself. BTC Benny on YouTube. He's BTC Sessions. You don't need to worry how to find him. The links are below this video. He's out in Calgary in Canada. For his day job, he works for a Bitcoin company. So people come in, they buy Bitcoin. He helps them with questions, etc. So he really is in the Bitcoin world, but also loves and hodls Bitcoin. I love BTC Benny's relaxed style, his super colourful glasses, his lovely bit of blonde hair that he sometimes has, family man with a beautiful little baby girl and a lovely wife. I watch any videos Ben puts up. Now, the thing about Benny is his videos are fantastically educational. So if you find his YouTube channel, you can find out pretty well any video you want to find out about things like hardware wallets, wallets for mobile phones, apps, etc. And Benny does a lot of those types of videos. So Benny's definitely the go-to guy if you're looking for a how-to video. So again, without further ado, let me run a quick video from BTC Benny. And by the way, Ben, I really love your intros.
Hello everyone, I am Ben with the BTC Sessions. I'm here in Gastown, which is in downtown Vancouver, Canada, and today I'd like to speak with you about how to buy Bitcoin online using your credit card through Coinbase. Coinbase allows you to do this through their website and through their app on your phone. Let's take a look at both. Alright, so here I am on the main page of Coinbase. This is where you start when you log in. Down the left, you have options for your dashboard, which we're currently on. You have options to buy and sell, to send or request Bitcoin. You have your accounts, tools, and settings.
Okay, that was BTC Sessions or BTC Benny. Finally, I couldn't go without talking to you guys about, we say don't believe in gurus, but if there was to be a guru, I would say it has to be Andreas Antanopolous. Andreas is an English-speaking Greek. What he doesn't know about Bitcoin, he calls it the Internet of Money, is incredible. He knows absolutely everything. There's nothing Andreas doesn't know. I watched a video recently where Andreas actually was challenged by, I believe it was a cabinet, in Canada, and how he answered all of their questions and, openly, and how they all got his point was just incredible. He calls Bitcoin the Internet of Money. Again, following his channel, you can learn so much about what Bitcoin is and what Bitcoin isn't. Andreas goes all around the world talking in conferences, to companies, to anyone that will listen, spreading the Bitcoin message of where it's come from, where it is, and where it's going. So, again, these are in no particular order, but I just could not end this list without Andreas Antanopolous. So catch a brief intro of Andreas right now.
When I've discovered it, I spent 4 months consuming as much as I could, except food. I lost 26 pounds on the highly inadvisable diet of obsession. These open, borderless, decentralized, censorship-resistant. And the reason it's so fascinating is because it isn't what it appears to be at first glance. Greece, Cyprus, Spain, Venezuela, Argentina, Brazil, India, Turkey, Pakistan, the Ukraine. What do these countries have in common? One day you wake up and you discover that the banks are closed. Who benefits in the end? The banks. They get bailed in. You'll be pleased to know that that CEO, as we speak, is facing jail time. No, of course he isn't. Come on. Where have you been? And before long, they will rewrite history. They will rewrite history to say that the reason the banks are failing and the reason the economy is on fire is because you provided an exit, is because Bitcoin exists. They will say the Bitcoin started the fire. We didn't start the fire.
Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed those little video clips. I hope you can now see if you're the sort of person that wants to buy and hold Bitcoin and wait for the future and change your finances. These guys really are the guys to follow. You don't want to be following anybody that's jittery, they're on the fence. 1 minute they're pro Bitcoin, next minute they're not Bitcoin. How's that going to help you in your head when the price of Bitcoin is always so volatile and always going up and always going down? These guys have helped me no end to stay calm, never worry about the price. I never watch the price. I might look at it once a week to see what it's doing. I might, if somebody says something on Twitter about it spiking up or down, I might go and have a check. But I'm in this for the long haul, guys. Now, the long haul for me is 2024, really, bearing in mind my age. I'm a lot older than a lot of you guys that are probably watching this, and a lot of these commentators or these content creators that you've just seen. So I've got to be mindful of that. But I've still got what I call a long-term strategy, like 3 to 5 years with the Bitcoin that I have. Now, they're the guys that I think you should follow on YouTube. One or two of them haven't got YouTube channels, but they're always guests on the other people's channels, so that's where you can catch them. I've put their Twitter links below as well. But there's 2 or 3 others that I want to just mention. The first one is J.W. Weatherman. Now, he's really new to the community, but I've watched, he doesn't have a YouTube, I think he does have a YouTube channel now, but I've watched some of them and they just go right over my head, if I'm totally honest. But if you want a guy pro Bitcoin, will do anything to protect Bitcoin, watch JW Weatherman if he's ever a guest on any of these guys' shows, or even follow him on his YouTube channel if you so choose. And I'll leave that down to you. Trace Mayer. Now, Trace Mayer is one of the first people into Bitcoin. From what I can gather, he's got a large position in the Bitcoin community. He's very, very techie, but again, when you watch his videos, and I watch a lot of Trace's videos, even if I don't understand everything he's saying, what I get from him is total conviction that Bitcoin is the only place to be in the cryptocurrency world. So that's Trace Mayer. Again, all the links are below. And finally, Ansel Lindner. Now, Ansel, I believe, has got a YouTube channel. Whatever I've got, the links will be below. But where I excel with Ansel, I watch him again when he's a guest on Andy Hoffman's show or Adam Meister's show. And I love Ansel's approach. It is just superb. So way to go, Ansel. Thumbs up from me. So in summary, there's 9 people that you can go and check out. Links below. And, honestly, if you want to trade Bitcoin, you're going to have a stressful life, worrying, is it up, is it down? It is not like trading on the stock market. It's so volatile. You think you can let it go high, then sell out when it comes down. And, you sell out thinking, I'll wait for it to crash and buy low. And before you know it, it's done a U-turn, it's shot back up again, and you've priced yourself out of Bitcoin. These guys don't do that. They're all pro buy and hold, have a strong hand, and just wait it out with Bitcoin. And that's why I've chosen them. I'm giving them all a thumbs up because I love watching every single one of their channels. I've learned so much in just over a year from following these guys, and so could you. So there you go, guys. That's the show for today. As always, please, if you enjoyed this video, like it. Maybe leave me a note, a thumbs up or something would be useful. Share it, bash the bell button, follow me on Twitter at UKBitcoinMeister, on Steemit and DLive at UKBitcoinMeister. Again, you can also, in the links below, there's a link where you can buy t-shirts, you can buy a hardware device, a Trezor. There's a link to get onto Coinbase, which is currently the biggest exchange at the moment. So every link relevant to this is in the notes section below. So please do check out the note sections below because they are so important, because they are links to other things you can go and check out, which is what I've done that's taught me all I know about Bitcoin today. Do I know much? No. Do I know anything about charts? No. Do I know anything about trading? No. Am I giving you financial advice? No. I'm just an ordinary working class guy that over the last 15 months has decided to study Bitcoin via the YouTube channels that are out there, listen to the right people, and in a year and a bit I've got an extremely strong hand, and I tell you, you'd have to fight me to take my Bitcoin off of me. So that's my show for today, guys. I hope you found it enjoyable. Until the next time, I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master. I'll catch you all soon.